Okay, I'm not entirely sure how this is going to look because it's essentially my first proper YouTube video. But I want to get started in the realm of showing spaces. I work as a real estate agent and a photographer, so I get access to very interesting places. And so I thought, why not bring you guys with me and show you what's up, in a kind of vlog kind of way, show you the spaces that I go around and things I visit on places that I generally find interesting and just show you guys. And so we're going to start in the most logical possible way, which is showing you guys the space in which I spend most of my time, which is my offices. All right, these are not entirely my offices, but are the offices that I share with some people, some fantastic people that I work in various projects with. And yeah, so let's just start the tour. Now this is where I spend most of my time, just working. This is my spot. There's 6 spots in total in this really cool office where we do, among other things, day trading, right? Mostly on the last 2 spots. And it's decorated on wood and we have a lot of plants going on. So, despite being in a working space, we can actually feel pleasant every now and then. Now this is the place where I'm going to be starting a podcast. I was very interested in having conversations with people, and this is going to be the setup. 2 chairs, very simple. That's me. And funny enough, this place used to be a lift, all right? A really big one, as you can tell. And it's currently stuck in place, all right? The thing doesn't really work anymore. And we just stuck it in place and made it into a very cool space to have conversations in. Now this is going to be the setup for the podcast. In the end, I went for a very simple setup, as you can see. Small microphones, this sound card, you could say, equivalent, that plugs right into the iPhone. Because essentially I wanted to have a setup that made it easy for people that aren't necessarily used to having conversations, being recorded, kind of being on a podcast, to feel very comfortable while coming here to talk to me. At the end of the day, this thing just sticks to your clothes and you forget about it. So that means that it's a lot easier for people to just behave normally. And most importantly for me, I haven't done this podcast thing ever. And so it really is going to be a challenge to sit down here and, actually let me sit down for a minute. Yeah, it's going to be a challenge to just sit down here and have conversations with people, because if you stop and think about it, that's where I'm going to be seeing most of the time, plus perhaps a couple cameras. So it's going to be very daunting in the beginning. But yeah, so that's the podcast setup. Now let me show you the garage. Now the lighting might be very bad as soon as I get into the garage, but I wanted to show you guys what we're doing here. Under the office and the podcast space, what we essentially have is a huge space, okay, in which we're going to be building it's hard to say, but it's essentially a car hotel / car sales company space / private space to socialize and just hang out with people that love cars. We're currently doing the ceilings. We're painting them black, and we're going to be doing some contrast paint in white for the columns, and we're going to be adding some art on the walls, a lot of decoration. I will be making more videos about this space, but I did want to show you guys how it looks right now. Although this part will be white, everything else is going to be black. But yeah, as you can see, everything is really busy right now. We had to cover all the floors, all the walls, to which we previously did some scraping, all right? So the walls used to have like really old paint, kind of like this, but like way more worn off. And what we essentially did was literally spray high pressure water on the paint to just make it fall off and get the original concrete look as we have here. But yeah, so we had to cover everything up. Space, as you can see, is pretty big, Hopefully it's going to be full with cars very soon. Here we have the photo call Here's where we shoot the cars. I can't show you right now because it's all covered up, but here's where we usually get the cars in to shoot. Now I'm just gonna get closer to a light so you can actually see my face. But yeah, basically this space is a very special project because we want to make a place in Madrid where people can not only sell their cars but also hang out and meet other people and essentially connect, connect through the passion for cars. People don't really grow up ever, at least some of us stay as kids. We just get bigger toys. But yeah, this will eventually be a space for people like us to share their passion and connect. Now, bear in mind, this is my first video, my first attempt at doing this thing, going around a space, showing it, and explaining the purpose of it. I've done literally zero planning for this. I'm just doing it on the go, like I would do stories, for Instagram. Just put them out straight away very easily. I will get better at this eventually, but I'm a believer that I need to get things started in order to improve. I'm never going to get to a point where I do things perfect or in a way that I appreciate and like unless I get started, so this is quite a test for me because I'm quite a perfectionist and I always try to get things right. The thing is, I'm not good at this, not yet, as you can probably notice. But the only way in which I can get better at this is by essentially practicing, doing it over and over again. I'm just getting used to this. I must say that I do enjoy it a lot. I love being able to have a space in which I can have a voice and be creative and make my small movies every now and then. And yeah, you just take people around in my journey through life. That's why I'm doing the podcast, because I want to learn a lot about life, figure this thing out through talking to other people and learning from them. And same way with the spaces, I'm very curious always about how do spaces look essentially, and why do they look that way, and what's the purpose of everything, how it is inside, why it looks like that, how people spend their time inside those places. I also want to get to visit more places, not only here in Spain, but also pretty much anywhere in the world. So I'm very excited about starting this new series. Actually, let me take a second to admit something. I've been wanting to do this for quite some time now, months, perhaps years, and the only reason I wouldn't start, was simply because I always thought about what might people say, as if people were watching, right? I mean, we essentially have so much to deal with regarding ourselves that we don't have that much time to care about what other people do or stop doing. So if you stop and think about it, it's okay to do things, to try things out, no one's gonna mind, right? That's why I'm doing this kind of format, so messy and all, because I feel like I'm gonna have to make around 100 videos until I get somewhat decent at this. But the only way to get to that point, which is where I want to find myself, is by starting, by just starting out, being messy. And it feels so liberating to do something that feels right to do. But the only reason I wasn't doing it was because I was just limiting myself. There's nothing wrong with this, with just sitting in front of a camera and just talking. I already feel satisfaction before uploading the video. And so that's why I think that this is really a path that I want to pursue and keep exploring, because who knows what might come from this. I'm just really excited. I think that it's going to allow me to grow a lot as a person. Getting out of my comfort zone. I spent all my life behind a camera. Standing in front of one is something very daunting to me and very uncomfortable. But it's for that very reason that I feel compelled to do it, because you only grow by facing those things that you're scared to do, right? Even though this is not the way I've always imagined starting this is the way that it has started. And that's what's of value here. I'll be starting with the podcast real soon, and I already have a bunch of my friends confirmed for that. I just want to talk to people and have conversations and figure out how other people think, how their brain works. For the time being, I need to get things started. I need to practice. I need to get more comfortable doing this, because I want to really get good at this. And I'm excited to see what comes out of this.
So as always, see you guys in the next one. Thank you and goodbye.